It's cyclocross race week. We're racing again this weekend. Woo! So last week had a week off where I was getting some endurance in, and this week it's time to ramp up the intensity ahead of this weekend's race. So I thought I'd bring you along for the week and show you my week of training to prep for that mid-pack battle. So I started the week with a rest day. I'll insert a terrible fake YouTube clip of me pretending to sleep. And now today we're back on the bike training, and we've got a zone 3 anaerobic mix to do. So what it looks like, basically going to do 4 minutes at zone 3, mid zone 3. You're then going to go into a 20-second burst at 150%, like someone's attacking you in a race. After that 20 seconds, you're then going to settle back into zone 3 for 20 seconds. So you're then trying to recover after doing that hard bit of work, but still at an uncomfortable pace. And you will then go back into another 20-second anaerobic sprint. And once you have done that at 150%, you'll then settle back into zone 3 and repeat that sequence for 15 minutes, so 3 rounds. These surges are just trying to replicate an attack in a cyclocross race, and then you're trying to still recover. Like, you'll be coming into a corner, you might be able to ease off, but you're still working hard, and then you've got to attack again. So they're really good for trying to replicate the attacks you might see in a cyclocross race. And as if that wasn't hard enough, the 15-minute effort, you recover for 8 minutes and repeat that for 4 rounds, as long as you can hold the watts on the anaerobic 20-second effort. And that is Tuesday's session complete. Only managed to get 3 efforts in the end because I lost light. And it's unlike me to say this about any effort over 60 seconds, but that is absolutely mega, because doing like a 15-minute block, it was broken down, so you were thinking about trying to recover in the 4-minute zone 3 block and then give it absolute full gas in the little 20-second efforts, and it made the time pass so much quicker. And it's surprising to see how you can actually still recover in zone 3. Like the first 30 seconds you're like, oh, this sucks, and then you get into a good rhythm, cadence, and the heart rate starts to drop. But today's session we're going to be hitting up a gravel smash with the Mossa crew, the same guys that done the Wednesday night CX champs. We're doing a gravel smash now, so I think it's going to be just full gas gravel lap. Yeah. And I've got a serious love-hate relationship with these Wednesday night sessions. I love to hate them. Like, you get home, you're like, oh, do I want to bury myself on a Wednesday night after work? And really, it's the only way to get the race intensity in. Put yourself in a race scenario with other people and just go full gas. You can't replicate it on your own. I've tried, and it's just so much more beneficial smashing it with a group. It's going to be a nighttime gravel smash, so we've got the lights on. But one thing's for certain, tonight will be an absolute smash fest. As expected, the Mossa gravel smash was full gas. But we had a wicked little gravel circuit, just doing, like, the best way to describe it is a nighttime gravel chain gang. Just doing a turn on the front, giving it beans, slipping in, someone else was going. But we're on to the last session of the week before we start ramping it down before race day, and I've got 4 by 8 minutes threshold to do, which is essentially my worst nightmare, holding prolonged power at threshold. But it's a work in progress, and I've been trying to do these sessions on flatter roads rather than just picking an 8-minute climb where it's easier to hold the power. I've personally always struggled putting down the power on the flats, so it's a great chance just to nail that down and hit some solid efforts at threshold and just work your weakness, as there are courses, cyclocross courses, that will just require that threshold type effort, and a lot of the long draggy sections have been real tough, like threshold plus efforts, and I just haven't had the power, so trying to work on that. Woo! Those efforts got grippy today. I was absolutely clinging on at the end. You're only meant to have 4 minutes rest between efforts on one of them. I may have had 5 or 6 minutes because I was feeling a little bit ropey, but the rest still spot on. Like, honestly, I was absolutely hanging on today. My lungs felt like they had more to give, but my legs were just carrying a bit of fatigue. from the last couple of days, and that's what I love about making these videos. I probably would have wrapped after 3 if I wasn't filming it, but because I was filming it, I was like, come on, let's crack on, get it done, get all 4 efforts in, and you feel so much better after. I'm like literally just spinning, soft tapping home now. But these videos hold me accountable, and I think give me a like surge recover effort any day of the week, and I think that is why I like cyclocross so much and dislike these like long threshold efforts, but I'm gonna learn to love them. But yeah, really good getting it done on the flat, and if you're similar to me and prefer putting out the power on a climb, definitely start trying to do it on the flats. It's helped me massively, because really in cyclocross, when I think about it, there's never like a prolonged climb. They're always like short, sharp little digs. So, and most of it's relatively flat. So I need to get better at putting down the power on the flats, and it's been a massive main focus of mine over the last sort of like 6 months, and it's going to be continuing over the next year, I think, for sure. So a well-earned recovery ride yesterday, just spinning the legs out, sitting on the old man's back wheel. And on paper, those first 3 sessions of the week didn't look like much, but like back to back, they added up, and I could feel the fatigue in the legs. So it was a well-needed recovery ride. And here we are, pre-race day ride, just keeping the legs turning over, making sure they're firing for tomorrow. Got a couple of efforts to do, but mainly just keeping it like really low, zone 2. Nice and chilled, ready for tomorrow, because I don't want to be carrying any fatigue into tomorrow. But a couple of sprints to get the legs firing, which is always good fun. But I have been doing these rides with the Rocket over the last sort of 4 weeks when the races have been on, which has been really good, nice and chilled. But she is still carrying a bit of an injury. She's a bit sore from her crash in the last video, so she is baking today. And while we're on the subject of nutrition, I don't like to talk about it much, because my diet is basically an unrestricted 10-year-old. I'll admit, my diet is shocking. It's like when you're a kid, you got your mum saying, only 1 cake. Problem is, I don't have that anymore, and I'll have 10 because I'm an absolute nightmare. But this is definitely slow progress, and when I say slow, I mean slow. Like, there's no chance that I'm ever giving up cake and chocolate. Like, life's too short for that. Can I get a him, man? What I have been doing is starting small with the pre-race day nutrition, making sure I'm fueling well, getting plenty of carbs in, topping up the glycogen stores, and also working on the race day nutrition, making sure I'm fueling for that with foods I actually enjoy and can stomach on race day. I completely understand that this is not going to like reverse the bad decisions I've made earlier in the week, but I see it as a step in the right direction and something just to work on slowly. And the carb up begins. I've got a sweet potato curry to start, and the Rocket is just finishing off her masterpiece over there in the kitchen, which will be a little bit of dessert, I think. Will it be ready in a minute?
Yes.
Yes. And here's the Rocket's weekly creation, and this is why I can't not eat cakes. They look absolutely phenomenal. And what have you made us this week?
Apple crumble cakes.
Apple crumble cakes. They look decent. We haven't tasted them yet, but we'll do a taste test soon. But cakes equal carbs. Carbs make you go faster, so we've got to have some of these today. Taste test time. Oh, that's amazing, actually. That is amazing.
You've never said that before. You don't even like apple crumble.
I know,
normally.
I've never picked this, but that is banging. Do you want to try some?
Oh, I thought you were getting a fork ready for me, but you were just piling it into your mouth.
Yeah. Got a plate full there.
Okay.
That's the problem. She makes too much.
We've already given some away.
Yeah, I know. Someone's got to eat that now. Whoa, get your mouth around that. What are you saying?
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Oh, mate! 10 out of 10.
It's not my recipe. It's a good recipe.
Yeah, but it's your bacon. 10 out of 10. That's banging, isn't it? Mm. I think we should just start a Sarah and George baking channel. Sarah bakes, George eats. That's where it's at, because my cycling ability is low.
A few moments later.
And more carbs about to go down before race day tomorrow. Got a pasta dish we're about to smash, and no doubt we might have a little bit. Are we going to have a bit more cake tonight? Yeah, we probably will have a little bit more cake. I just love cake! I just love a bit of cake! I've eaten other stuff throughout the day as well, but I've just been too lazy to film it, to be honest. But plenty of carbs have gone down, so feeling nice and fueled, ready for tomorrow's race. I hope you've enjoyed the video and this week's training, and I'll catch you in the next one.